Hey my peeps, locking down the truth with Marci Lock. You know me. Came down to enjoy the beach and the sunset, which is pretty much gone by now, but I was noticing that I felt some sadness and some emotion coming up, and it was interesting because, you know, I got to spend the day like with my boys at the Boys and Girls Club, and for whatever reason something triggered me coming back that something one of my little boys said that kind of triggered me to just feel that the old shit around being alone. And so I got to process it, and I got to feel my emotion and cry a little bit and feel my sadness. And then, of course, to create my world and my life, once I broke down all the stories and again reminded myself that they're untrue and realized where they came from, etc., then again it's like, well, what's my new thought and perception and belief, and what's the action I'm going to do to love on myself? So if I'm feeling the desire for love, the only answer is to be the source of your own experience and love on yourself. And so I came down to the beach to love on myself and get some beach time, and you know, just getting to walk like with my feet in the water and be connected to Mother Earth and, you know, Father Sky or whatever you want to call it, and just totally connected to this energy. And the thing that came up for me, what I really wanted to share is letting go or leaning into or loving the unknown, trusting the unknown. So it's like the past me that you know had to know what it was going to look like and what the end result would be, and afraid of you know, rejection or fear that it wouldn't work out or blah blah blah. Hated the unknown. It's like I hated the uncertainty. I wanted to know because I was so insecure inside. And the me that's loves myself fully and knows that whatever I'm experiencing is perfect and each step is effortlessly in front of me, that there is no have-tos or shoulds or parameters or good or bad or wrong or right. The person that secures myself and loves myself knows that the unknown is so fucking awesome and amazing and fun and exciting, and I'm just loving this. So you can't even see, I'm walking in the water literally, and it feels so good, and it's January. That's why I live in paradise. And so it's like, as I lean into even like this sadness and this thought of like, you know, there was some things for me being single. I had a friend that called me the other day and is really struggling in relationship, and he was like, Mars, like, what have you know, what's your experience with like trying to attract conscious individuals who own their own perceptions and own their own feelings and own their own thoughts and are the creators of their world, and being that it's a smaller percentage of people that choose in on that. And so a process for me that was really powerful years ago that I took myself through was leaning into and saying, you know, if I ever choose to not co-create in a love relationship, you know, what comes up for me? And the worst thing that came up for me was like, well, I'm going to die alone. And I was like, well, we're all going to die alone. Like, I'm still going to fucking travel and play and be the best mom ever and rock my passion, my purpose, and explore and adventure and expand and grow. So it has nothing to do with someone standing next to me. See, relationships are meant to magnify your life's experience, not something that you need. And I got to do the same process of, and if I choose to co-create what comes up for me and being totally at peace with either or. So this is trusting that unknown, is that it's like, you know, I know that I create my happy and I create my happy now. The past me would have been like, well, someday when I have that in my life, then I'll be whole and complete. Bullshit. I'm whole and complete right now. And so I choose whatever shows up. How do I give it to myself? How do I give myself the love that I'm seeking and wanting? How do I create my life to be what I want it to be right now? And that's why, I mean, the answer for all the people that are always like, Mars, how are you still single? I was like, because my life's fucking awesome. I love my life. I've created my awesome life, and there would be nothing that got to come into my life that would ever be anything but amplifying it and magnifying it to a higher degree. So the thing I just really wanted to give you is like this beauty in trusting the unknown. Trusting, I don't know what's next, you know, or who I get to interact with. I just trust that as I'm focused on what I want to create and I'm leaning into that, and I'm allowing myself to discover every step of the way that the perfect thing will show up for me. The next greatest thing is there for me, because that's where I'm going and that's what I'm focused on, instead of focus on the shit or the feeling of like, oh, lack or limitation, or stories of like, oh, you know, there's not a man to hold me right now. So guess what? I fucking get to love on myself, and, you know, can create even support and love in my life in any other way that I want. This is love. And this is power, is giving yourself whatever you're seeking. You're never a bitch to circumstance looking for something outside of you. You're empowered to give it to yourself. Love you guys. Power of choice is yours. Choose your best life. Lock it down.